Eventually, it's like, listen here. Here's where your family lives. Here's where your sister lives. I'm not saying you're going to drop the ball, but, maybe the ball goes out of bounds a couple times. You know what I mean?
It's the PokerNews Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 923rd episode of the PokerNews Podcast. I am Chad Holloway, joined by Mike Holtz and Ben Ludlow at Level 9 Studio in Las Vegas. Gentlemen, it's been a while since it's been the three of us.
It has been a while. How was the Bahamas?
It was nice. I got to co-host last week's episode with Michael the Grinder Mizrachi, of course. Which,
we saw.
Not gonna lie, yeah, that was pretty good. So we've got a lot has happened though since our last episode between the three of us, and we're going to talk a lot about much of it today, including I don't even know how to term this, the NBA Mafia poker cheating drama that went mainstream. We're going to talk about Ren Lin's disqualification and subsequent ban from GG Poker and the WSOP. We're going to talk about this poker player who has a brothel in Las Vegas, apparently. I figure one of the two of you will know more about that. The World Tournament of Slots in the Bahamas. The NAPT Gold Pass winner has finally been revealed. We're going to share that this episode. WPT Bay 101 Shooting Star final table is set, and then recent tournament winners. Boys, let me start there. I'm not the biggest NBA guy. I have a tangential knowledge of the NBA, but Mike, I know you're all about the NBA. What did you make about this story when it broke?
I think it's insane, honestly. All about the NBA, very interesting thing to say. I actually am currently pretty big fan right now.
Yeah, I'm all about the NBA.
The Wemby area. Yeah, Ben is a super NBA guy. He's a big Knicks fan. Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane. Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, 4 Mafia families. It's crazy, honestly. It's actually crazy. And for this to be happening right now, it just feels like everything is just the most random shit ever is just going to happen out of the corner. It's just like, we're going to NBA gambling scandal with the X-ray glasses and the tables and everything. It's insane. So,
and we even discussed there was another thing about, we saw the shuffling machine video like a week or so before this happened. Anyway, this is, first of all, I want to say that this is just like all the stories we're going to talk about today. It's disappointing because this is just another set of things where everything we ever see in poker in the mainstream is a story where it's like something negative happened, or some criminal who happens to play poker, or, poker games being cheated or whatever. And this is just like the ultimate example of that, where here we are again, like maybe that clip of Berkey was one of the most, watched things about poker in the last few years. And it's him talking about how, we all know we get cheated all the time. Yeah, we all know that if it's too good to be true, if you're playing in a poker game with a bunch of celebrities who want you there, of course it's going to be cheated or like not above board. And it's just like sad and disappointing. I mean, the greed of some of these people who have made $100 million in their career to then go out and cheat, it sucks that there are individuals like this out there, and I'm sure all the context will come out in terms of, if the mafia is involved. I'm sure maybe there was some pressure, or there was something that we don't understand, or why these guys felt the need to do this, or cheat their friends, or cheat whoever it was, because Chauncey Billups is an NBA coach and making millions of dollars a year. Obviously, he was like a Hall of Fame player and made millions and millions and millions. So when I hear something like this, especially when it's with celebrities, I'm wondering what else the context is. Is it just pure greed of someone like Billups or Rozier or whoever, where they're just like, we're going to fuck these guys over, or maybe they don't have the money we think they did?
Well, I think what happens a lot of the time is, at least this is what used to happen before these gigantic contracts, and obviously Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier made incredible amounts of money throughout their careers, but what happens is they sink you in gambling debt.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, let's say you're making, I don't know, $1 million a year. I mean, now that they're making way more than that, but you start off, you bet, $100, and you bet $500, then all of a sudden you go on a run, or you lose. Now you're betting, all of a sudden now you're betting $20,000 a game.
Yeah.
And now you've lost $1.6 million. And they're like, oh, it's fine. Take it. We know you're good for it, blah, blah. Then it piles up. And eventually it's like, listen here. Here's where your family lives. Here's where your sister lives. I'm not saying you're going to drop the ball, but, maybe the ball goes out of bounds a couple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is my boy Louis the Knife. He's gonna come through.
No, Louis the Knife. I know Louis the Knife.
Do you? Do you know Fat Nick too?
I do. I know Pooya and Fat Nick.
Oh, that's nice.
Those are my boys.
But I think there was a guy named like Vinny the Wrench, literally. No. The thing.
I mean, one of the guys. So this story is very convoluted. One of the guys apparently named hosting the games was named Meatball. Right? Like, I don't know if you've seen the interview that Doug posted.
I think it was called Vegan Meatball, though. No, I'm kidding. But
Beyond Meatball.
Beyond Meatball. There you go.
I mean, you're playing in a game for hundreds of thousands of dollars with a guy named Meatball running it. You like, buyer beware sort of thing. But
no, that's honestly, that's who I want to be running the game I'm playing in.
Yeah. I want to be cheated by Meatball.
Yeah, 100%.
But the craziest part of all this, I guess, is to the extent to which they were cheating. I mean, it's one thing where it's like, creating a small edge for yourself with bad players or finding a way for, Billups is just like, I want to play against the worst players and, we'll find a way to screw them. But the fact that they were actually, manipulating shuffle machines, using X-ray glasses and marking the back of the cards so that they could see exactly what cards. I mean,
so they weren't using, maybe they were using extra glasses, but I heard the table was an X-ray.
Yeah,
that's what I thought too. The whole thing's insane.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Clearly, like, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just, you're right. The whole thing is insane. Like, this has the makings of, this will eventually, years from now, be turned into a book or a movie or something, right? Because it's not just the cheating in poker, which, Ben, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I hate when these stories come out because it does shine such a negative light on our industry. And I know, like, when I'm getting, and I'm sure everybody's listening, whoever's in the poker industry, you probably got a message from somebody that that doesn't really do poker about this story. Yeah. I know I had several friends from my childhood type of thing. They just know I'm the poker guy, reach out and like, so what do you think of this story? Or what's going on with this? And that's not a good thing if that's all they're seeing when it comes to poker. But
the last time I got messages like this was the Robbie scandal, where it's like, yo, did you see this? What's going on? Did she cheat? Is it actually real? So
I just have so many DMs from women fans of the show that I just I can't even respond to my DMs anymore. But I'm sure there were people in there messaging me. I'm not.
Yeah. I get it.
Well, that's just the poker aspect of it too, right? Because then, as you mentioned, you've got the NBA angle. And so, there's cheating in the poker games, but apparently some of the games might have been rigged, point shaving or whatever, player stats. So you got that whole angle going on. And then you toss in the Mafia angle. Like, apparently the 5 Mafia families that still run New York, if you will, have all gotten together and cooperated on this. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's so many moving parts and none of it good in terms of how it reflects on poker.
If you go back to, if you go online and look up Terry Rozier, like controversy or anything like that, or highlights, there is multiple games where he's done some stuff that I can only describe as, suspicious. Like, so suspicious. Like, literally, like,
so suspicious.
So suspicious. So yeah, Terry Rozier is literally, it's like his over is like 17 points. He's at 15. And every time he gets the ball, he's just like,
my ankle. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I think we're like we were talking about before. I bet there's some, I don't want to say necessarily smoking gun, but there's going to be some other piece of context, I think, among all, like, because it's just, there's some missing piece here in terms of, someone, like Mike was saying, someone was in crazy gambling debt or someone, whatever. It just, the idea that people would start to, like throw away the integrity of the NBA or their own integrity as a player and kind of doing all these things for betting. It's just like, it's so wild and so kind of against what you'd expect from a high level athlete that's worked their whole lives to get to this point. And I mean, when you end up with lots of money, or we see it all the time in poker and gambling, where in a cash intensive business and a thing where your, money's transferred back and forth, people take advantage of it. And it sucks, but it happens all the time. And it clearly happens with celebrities, athletes, et cetera, too. But there's just got to be something else here that we don't know about yet in terms of, the pressure to do this or like the real motivation behind it. Maybe it's just that Chauncey Billups wants to see the world burn and hates everyone and just wants to like cheat everyone out of it. But obviously, like, this goes far beyond just these two guys. Obviously, there was the Gilbert Arenas, don't sue me for defamation. I know he's out here saying he's going to like sue everyone who talks shit about him. But there was this whole controversy like a couple months ago where he got arrested for something similar, and it's got to be connected.
And
I'm
sure. And he said he was snitching.
He said he was.
He was like, "I'm snitching. I ain't going to jail."
Yeah.
You have even like Kevin Garnett. He apparently played in these games too, even though no wrongdoing is alleged on his part. But like just the cast of characters who are involved in this story, I think is pretty insane. And then another thing that I just thought was wild was like, and kudos to him, Matt Berkey actually kind of called out this story 2 years ago on the Only Friends podcast, where there's this clip. I'm going to show it here in a minute. I'll show it now. Check it out.
Cheating's bad. Okay,
it is.
There are a lot of stories about it. There's one that cropped up. This must have been like 5 years ago, 2019-ish, I think, 4 years ago, where there was this game. It started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, "Look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up." And I was like, "Well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up."
Yeah.
And we kind of went back and forth, and I agreed that like I just wasn't going to go play it, but I had some friends who went and played it both in LA and in Vegas, and it obviously like was for sure confirmed to be cheated. Mm-hmm. Like people who clearly didn't even understand the rules of No Limit Hold'em are just like jamming hundreds of big blinds in with like a gutty. And then just drilling it. Yeah. Only the pros are losing. Like,
how is it figured out? Like, it just.
I can't remember if this was the game where.
No. Over the loudspeaker?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That was Pierce.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still. I mean, it's not like Chauncey and Pierce don't know each other. I feel like it's probably the same crowd overlapping there.
Gotcha.
But maybe not. Either way, it was basically confirmed amongst all of the pros that the game was cheated, but there's just no recourse.
Gotcha.
All right, so there you see it. Matt Berkey like threw it out there. It never really obviously gained any attention, but it did after the fact. He went on the Pat McAfee show. Matt Berkey was queen for a day, so to speak.
Sure.
Like, he was everywhere because of his clip there, and kudos to him. Like, he knew before everybody else did.
Well, I think it's interesting. Number one, Matt Berkey on top of it. And I've been invited to home games in Vegas. Some Chris guy, I can't remember his last name, where I would drop his stuff on here, was inviting me to home games over and over and over again in my DMs. I'm like wondering, he's offering me $100 to be a prop in the game an hour. And I'm like, why do you want me to play in this game so bad? I'm talking to all my professional friends. They're like, yeah, dude, he invited me to this game too, blah, blah, blah. Tim Riley messaged me to come to that game. A bunch of other people messaged me to come to that game. All of a sudden pops up, oh, that game's rigged. Blah, blah. They've been cheating everybody for so long. So it happens. It happens even at lower stakes than this. And I'll say this. Sometimes, like my tendency, I want to put myself in somebody else's shoes. I want to say, why, if I was Chauncey Billups, why would I do this, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's just, people are different. I know someone, maybe my cousin. It could have been my cousin. It's my cousin. He grew up. His parents, his grandparents were wealthy, right? He sold drugs his whole life. Yeah. For they would give him hundreds of dollars, but he still wanted to be cool. He wanted to be in the in crowd. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Billionaires. Do billionaires need more money? They're continuing to grind. They're taking all the edges they can. It's the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they were in gambling debt. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they were in a bad situation. Maybe they just felt cool doing some illegal shit with the Mafia. And, like, look at how my life's turned out. I'm an NBA coach now, and I'm in with the Mafia, and I'm hard bodied, It could be that too. But I don't know. I'm just spitballing, as one does.
No, for sure. I mean, this is such a weird world of kind of like what is cool and what is people get into. We look at people who come from, like, the coolest guys in this industry are ones like, and love this guy. Like a guy like Nick Schulman, who's like, he dropped out of high school and he was hustling in pool halls in the back room. And, who knows what kind of sketchy shit he got into to get to where he is. And I mean, I think he has, the utmost integrity of some people I met, but it's like, that's what's cool. And so to your point, we romanticize this sort of mafia gangster gambling lifestyle of Vegas and sort of the undergroundness. I mean, I used to play underground games in New York. We were talking with, Brian Oken about this when we interviewed him, where you walk into a 1-2 game in New York where everyone's got $300 to $500 on the table and there's like 3 security guards. And you got to give a password and you got to go up a secret elevator and do the right knock. And it's just all like the further romanticization of this like alternative kind of underground lifestyle. And to your point, it can lead to people making pretty bad, it goes from 0 to 60 real quick, right?
Yeah,
it snowballs real quick.
No, of course, you're doing something small and then something medium, and then all of a sudden you're rigging NBA games.
And I feel like we used to talk, there's this whole thing about, bringing back the characters in poker and bringing back the old school, like the 03 poker boom was built by these characters and people who wasn't like, today the people we look up to in poker are not, I don't want to say look up to, but that are, getting the most notoriety in poker are content creators, which fine and great, and the people who take the game the most seriously, the guys and girls who are studying, who are taking care of themselves, who are, Jason Kuhn, Seth Davies, guys who clearly
Ren Lin.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Poor Ren Lin. Or maybe not. Anyways, but and it used to be like, oh, the guys we look up to are the ones like Doyle and Phil Ivey who came up as gamblers, and they're like real life gamblers who happen to play poker. And like, again, it's just this all romanticizing this underground kind of like semi-illegal lifestyle that it, is very attractive to a normal person in the world who is just out there in their 9 to 5 and kind of has no, doesn't see the day-to-day of this and how it can really get out of hand. So it sucks that this is always the kind of story we end up with, because it just makes us all look like this, even though there is some, something cool to be said about being underground gambling illegal stuff.
Well, I will say it's kind of hard to it's hard to have a positive story. Like,
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what.
Like, oh man, he won that money. Everyone else lost money, and House took 12% rake.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
I will say we definitely haven't heard the last of this story. This one's going to drag out for quite a while. I'm sure Poker News will keep an eye on it. I do want to move on to the next story, Mike. You set it up a little bit, and that is Ren Lin. A character in poker for sure. Tony Lin is his real name, goes by Ren Lin, GG Poker ambassador. He was at the World Series of Poker Circuit Cyprus stop, playing in the main event of $5,300 buy-in tournament, when a tweet was released by Merit Poker saying that before the start of day 2, Ren Lin, also known as Lady Gaga, was DQ'd by the decision of WSOP tournament director Andy Tillman due to a violation of the poker integrity policy on GG Poker. His stack was removed from the tournament. It turned out that he ended up helping, whether intentional, unintentional, innocent, malicious, an online player who was using the name Real OA was playing in I believe it was the GG Millions final table. And he asked Ren Lin on, I don't know if it was Zoom, Slack, whatever, on his phone, about a hand that was actually happening, and Ren gave him his opinion in real time. That is unauthorized real-time coaching during tournament play, and as a result, Ren Lin was DQ'd from the live tournament, and then there were more repercussions. Real OA was permanently banned, $250,000 from around the $350,000 that he won was seized. Ren Lin put up the other $93,000 or whatever it was of his own money, issued an apology. And yeah, this one was big because GG Poker then issued a statement basically saying that Ren Lin is banned from GG, banned from the World Series of Poker because they own that now. This was a big story with a lot of different.
Right.
Indefinitely,
yeah. Real OA permabanned. This Ren Lin. We'll see. Right.
So, yeah, this obviously was making waves, a lot of different opinions on this. What do you guys think? Mike, let's start with you.
Oh, I think we should start with Ben. He's over here shaking his head. I'd like to have him set up his point before I set up mine.
All right, fine. Mike and I might even disagree on this. It's interesting. First of all, Ren Lin is like my real life actual hero. I've played with him a lot. I've spent a lot of time with him at the table. I've looked up to him for, a couple of years now. And it just this just makes me sad because he knows better. Like, if he didn't know that this was, if it was totally an accident, like let's suspend a little disbelief, like that someone came to him in the middle of a hand and he just happened to be able to respond in real time. So
it was hands, right? Not just hand, right? It was like a ongoing.
Was it ongoing?
Oh, I was under the impression that this was like he was in a group of people and this guy was sharing the hands and Ren Lin was popping in and giving advice.
I mean, certainly possible. And I watched that GG Millions broadcast back. I went back and watched it. And, this was real OA. This person, this was they were like, oh, who is this? Never had played the GG Millions before, never cashed, never final tabled. Like 9 out of 10 people who make these final tables every Sunday, it's a 10K buy-in with a day 2 on Monday. So it's like 9 out of 10 people who do this are playing this every Sunday. It's like what are their results? They've won this a couple times. They play this every week. This is their 9th final table. And this was like a real OA. It's like, oh, this guy sattied in and has never played before. Wow, interesting. Like, who is this person? And then it all comes out that it was, Ren Lin helping this person. So, first of all, Ren knows better. And if this was ongoing and if this was the kind of thing where, like, he was in real time helping him and he knew about it, like, he knows better and that's terrible. If it was just kind of one hand off and he really made a mistake and, like, it's still, we still can't have any, I don't know, tolerance for this kind of thing. And I think they did the right thing by saying, hey, we got to just like step up and show that anyone who violates this, no one is above the law. Like if there's anyone in poker right now, in my opinion, who people would want to be above this, to give a second chance to like let it slide, Ren Lin might be like literally number one. I mean, he is the most famous player in China, which is kind of the biggest emerging market. He is a superstar there, bringing so many more great like Chinese players into the game and amateurs, etc. So it's bad for everyone that this happened. So, but at the same time, you got to give credit to the World Series GG, whoever, for stepping up and being like, this is maybe our number one ambassador or one of them, and we still can't tolerate it. And we still, need to make a stand. That being said, I know there's been a lot of talk about, and specifically GG, who are trying to, potentially allow people who have cheated or have violated terms of service, give them a second chance. I mean, I think this is one where there's never been a person who probably deserves more of a second chance, in my opinion, given all that they do for the community. But again, that being said, we can't look at him any different than anyone else. Like, if this was not someone with a brand name, they would just be banned for life and we wouldn't be thinking twice about it. We would be like, hell yeah.
And we'd be calling him a scumbag.
And we'd call him a scumbag. And I don't think there is, I don't think there is a scumbag, cheating, malicious side of Ren Lin. I think this was a mistake. I want to believe that at least, and as someone who has, spent some time with him, I believe that to be the case, but he still knows better, man.
Yeah. The way I look at it is this, right? Like, just because someone is a really good person and a really nice person and very well liked, when they do something wrong, like everyone as human beings, like if it's one of my friends, I'm like, oh shit, like, in my mind, I want to give him leniency. Yeah. In this situation, Ren Lin is such a nice dude. He's like joyful. He's fun for the game. But when I think about what happened, right, I think about people who send me hands. I would know if it was a hand that was going on right that second, whether they would, I can't imagine a friend sending me a hand and them being like, oh, I need real-time assistance, right? And I just don't know about it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, I thought that was like if someone texts me, they're like, quick, need answers now. I'd know that they were doing something suspicious, right? So for it to be in a group chat or whatever, it was at least what my opinion of it was, or what I had saw was that it was some sort of group chat where, because Ren said something about him, he got $100 thing in a group chat. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-mm. He said something along the lines of like, after the guy won, he was giving out $100 to everyone in the group chat.
Oh,
I think it was like 100+ members in this group chat. I think I was under the impression that he was openly cheating in a 100-member group chat, and Ren Lin was someone giving him advice. If that's the case, I could be wrong about that.
That could be the case. So there was a group chat. I will say, based on Ren Lin, so he issued an apology. He was in this group chat and he said, a 10-cent meeting link. He was on break, according to him, when he saw that real OA was at a major final table. So he clicked into the group chat and said, quote, When he asked for my opinion on a hand, I responded instinctively, offering my personal advice simply out of a desire to help a friend. The entire interaction lasted only a few minutes, after which I left the call and returned to my live tournament. As it was my first time entering such a live session, I failed to recognize it as a rule violation at the moment, mistakenly equating it with post-tournament hand discussions common in our group chats.
I don't believe him at all.
I mean, if it was a call, come on.
No,
like,
there's
first
no
of all,
way.
Anyone who's ever sent me a hand history or anyone a hand history, no one responds in real time fast enough for it to be.
And if
like,
they did, they're going to explain it like, I would check here because of these reasons, blah, blah, blah. Like, you would, if you're doing it instantly, you need them to just go check.
Yeah.
B25. There's no way. I do not believe that if he was on a call that he did not know that. I like Ren Lin as a person. I think I think it's, in my opinion, it seems pretty obvious that there was nefarious behavior. And I have a couple sources who've told me, and again, I don't want to like throw out any unhanded accusations or anything, but there's been people tweeting about it as well, that there might be some funky stuff that went on with the 25K fantasy as well. Unconfirmed. I'm not saying that this is 100% or anything, but
well, what do you mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. I've heard
as someone who was involved, I want to hear your.
Oh, I just listen. I don't want to say any unfounded rumors, but people.
But you already did, so let's hear them.
You better at least share this in the group chat.
So Ren Lin's team has had several members that are just like random $1 people that have done really well, and I just know that a lot of people in the 25K fantasy have had concerns that there might be chip dumping of some sort or something like that. Now, I'm not confirming this at all. This is just what I've heard in other group chats I'm in and on Twitter from other people, but I don't know. That would be pretty crazy if so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... it would have to be... I mean, the side... anyway, yeah. I know Ren had a ton of side bets in the 25K, and, there's more money made in side bets, team to team heads up than there is in the actual, like... overall, thing. So there might be some incentive.
No, I don't know anything about that, honestly.
That being said, there has been a lot of the like, oh, who's this Chinese guy that he picked? And they come and they end up being great and no one really knows that much about them. But
which could just be a total coincidence. He just knows good Chinese players who are not, you know what I mean?
But
and then one thing that happens, I'm sure, with him as well as other teams, like Negreanu does this as well. He'll if Negreanu drafts somebody, he's going to make sure that player's back to play in certain events, right? And I'm sure that's the same.
Like someone
with
Nick Palma?
Nicky P. Yeah.
Nicky P, who wants to come on the show, boys. I'm telling you, he messages me.
I want to be on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, we can't all get what we want.
I want to be your husband on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
If he comes on the show, then Mike and I are going to be...
on vacation?
No. We're going to be husband and husband on a reality show.
All right, so get Nicky P on here ASAP. Yeah. I'm trying to marry my boy Ben.
What's up?
I will say this to wrap up the Ren Lin stuff. So, obviously, Negreanu, who's friends with Ren Lin, also represents GG, came to his defense, if you will, saying, his character in regards to poker and his passion are there. But still people push back against that. I'll say that I'm really glad that GG took this seriously. Even if it was a mistake, the poker operators online especially, but live also, need to start setting hard examples of what is acceptable and what's not in our industry if we want it to continue to grow and to be taken seriously and to avoid these sort of stories like we've been talking about, these negative stories. There have to be consequences. This sort of stuff happens. Like cheating happens, and
how do we
need to combat it?
How do we beat it? Like it's one of those things where it's really annoying to me, and I've been sounding alarm bells on cheating for so long.
Before you and I were like good friends and barely knew each other, I knew that you were a guy who was like calling out cheating and like making sure that I remember this summer you even were remember there was the guy who played. He was like asked, this is the exact same thing that happened with Ren. I just remembered this. We were in some tournament.
Oh, the PLO tournament.
Yeah, the PLO tournament. And the guy,
were you at the table with me?
No, but we were nearby.
Okay.
Where you saw a guy ask it was a European guy, and he asked his friend in a different language about the hand, and he was looking at World Series on his phone.
Oh, it was the craziest shit
and
ever.
You went to the floor, and we're like, yo, this guy is literally asking about a World Series of Poker.
I made a huge stink about it. I started screaming in the poker room. I was like, these fuckers are cheating.
And I was there like, I'm such a non-confrontational guy. I was like, thank God there's guys like Mike out here who are just going to not care and fucking call people out.
It's making me angry thinking about it right now. This motherfucker walks up to the guy next to me with his phone in his hand playing on WSOP.com and starts asking questions about the bracelet event with 60 people left. And I'm looking, I'm like, there's no fucking way it's happening. And it's like the flop. He's like, he's like, pot it here, right? He's like, no, check. And I'm like, I look over, I'm like, there's no way they're doing this on WSOP.com. And then he's like, okay, I checked the turn. He's like, no, pot it. And I look over like this, it's WSOP.com. And I just start looking around. On the river, he says something. I start going, Floor, these fuckers are cheating.
Yeah.
The Floor came over to the Floor's credit. It was Ant and Andy Rich, I believe. And not Andy Rich. Andy, I'm mixing the two Andys up. But it doesn't matter. Both of them handled it incredibly fantastic. They went and they called up and they got the cameras to look and everything, and they dealt with WSOP.com. And I don't know the actual results, but it kind of seems like they got banned or taken care of. But yeah, they're cheating openly right there. So cheating in poker is like, it's sketchy, man. I mean,
if we don't have people doing things like this, or we don't hold, even the most popular, wonderful people accountable, then it's going to die. And I mean, as someone who plays online a lot and talking about you, this is especially of concern because
I think live poker gets cheated just as much as online.
Well, and I was of the opinion, I still am, and whatever, there's different kinds of cheating. The whole Robbie controversy, etc. possible. I'm always like, when you say someone's cheating in live poker, you're giving them a lot of credit for how much thought and whatever goes into doing that. And then I'm proven wrong every time where it's like, oh, no, they had the shuffling machine rigged. And I'm like, you're giving them a lot of credit saying that they can pull that off or would like spend the time to do it. And yet they do. So it's sad. And
well, I know every time I go to a market outside of Vegas and I'm playing in the tournaments, the dealer's pitch is like so insane that I can see like half the cards.
Of course. And I'm always like, hey,
I'm going to move on to the next story because Mike will go on for an hour about how he can see those pitch cards. Not denying that you can.
22 minutes I was going to go.
I just need to make sure we cover everything, boys. And I want to talk about your favorite things.
Chad's got a hot date, so
yeah.
I want to talk about your guys' favorite things in Vegas. Brothels.
Oh, I thought I was going to say jiggly eggs.
Did you know we have a brothel podcast? Is that what's going
on? It probably be better than the PokerNews Podcast.
Brothel Podcast.
So there was a story reported by local station KLAS 8 News reporting that a, quote, high-rated poker player, as police described him, was operating a brothel in Las Vegas. The player's name was Bing Du, was arrested October 15th with 6 felony charges, including prostitution and encouraging a brothel. We don't have to go into the specifics, but
how much tournament winnings did he have a lifetime?
So that's the issue, right?
$3,347.
Good thing we cut away from me talking about cheating in poker to talk about this guy running a prostitution ring.
No, I mean, this was the big story. It was this, right? It was the reaction to it, of him being called a high-rated poker player because I'd never heard of him. You guys never heard of him. Nobody had ever heard of him. So where did this moniker come from? And again, this is just another one of those things where like, all right, here's a black eye from poker that didn't need to be there. Adam Hendricks pointed it out on social media. It's just, like it sucks when these sort of labels get applied. And look, I'm probably guilty of it at a point or two of calling somebody like a, poker player, X, Y, and Z, but definitely going to have to pay more attention to that because this, I don't know, this one sucks. So.
I, for one, am shocked that the police misspoke. They're usually so good at their jobs these days. I mean.
And for those wondering, Ben, where was this brothel located?
I don't know where it was located.
Wasn't that your house, dog?
No. Warm Springs and Durango. Anyway, no. I it's just another hilarious, just like, they just want to connect nefarious people with gambling and whatever. I mean, I can't believe Vegas News of all people do this, where it's just like, where do they even get poker player? Didn't
they arrest him at a poker tournament?
Is that why? Oh, maybe that's why.
So I thought I saw that, but maybe I dreamed that in a drug haze.
He was arrested during a poker tournament at a strip casino. It says arrested her. So Bing Du.
That's what I thought. I thought Bing Du was a woman. You guys both said him, and I'm just like, I don't even read the stories, I guess. I thought it was a chick.
No, you told me that in the car.
Yeah, I did.
I just trust both of you inherently, okay?
Anyway. It says, Police later searched the property in Spring Valley and found various rooms with mattresses and business cards reading, quote, Asian beauties for discreet gentlemen.
Mattresses and business cards.
Did they find anything else there, Chad, right after that?
They said, quote, large amounts of used condoms.
Dude, if you're gonna find that at a house and say it's prostitution, then both me and Ben are going to prison tonight, son.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mom, this isn't true. Okay?
Yeah, no. Ben doesn't have a sense of smell. Don't ask how I ask how I know that.
All right, well, let's move on to
last point. When we heard Bing Do, and we were like, oh, if this is a high related poker player in Vegas, even if they're a cash game person, we should know who they are. We looked up and we're like, oh, 3,000 earnings. Never heard of this person. There's no pictures. Like, God damn it. This is
playing
not a
the $60 nightly at
the Poker Palace.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's where all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I thought when they said strip, when he said strip casino, at first I was like, oh, was this a strip poker game? Like,
it probably was South Point.
No. I meant like stripping your clothes.
No, I didn't even think about what you were saying because then I was already on my own.
You don't even listen. You never listen.
Yeah, what did you say earlier? Tangential.
You know what?
You dropped the tangential.
Next story. It's fine. This is stupid.
All right, boy.
This is.
Well, you guys sort that out at the studio, I'm going to toss it to a highlight video from the World Tournament of Slots, which took place at the Atlantis on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. I was there all week long. Last week, I did an episode from there with Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. You can go back and check that out.
What was your favorite brothel there? Never mind. Go ahead.
We had our qualifier there, Jimmy Schmatzer, who did quite well.
Jimmy Schmatz, baby, let's go.
I think he was named in the Chauncey Billups indictment.
I was going to say he was right under Jicklemang Hernandez, I think.
Trust me, Jimmy was an awesome qualifier. Great guy from Ohio. His wife was with him. And he made the money, as they say. So 500 players in this tournament. He finished in 18th.
Sweet.
But there was a $1 million winner up top. Check out this video from highlights from the World Tournament of Slots.
Chad Holloway for Poker News here at the beautiful Atlantis on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. Now, I'm usually here for the World Series of Poker Paradise in December, but it is October right now, and I'm here for the second annual World Tournament of Slots. I'm not the only one. Players from all around the country have been arriving here for the upcoming tournament where 500 players will compete for a $1 million top prize and, of course, the title of World Tournament of Slots champion. There are some celebrities here. Heather Dubrow of The Real Housewives has been welcoming guests as they arrive. It's been a lot of fun. They're also setting up for the actual competition inside. Let's go check it out. All right, you've seen some of the players arriving. Well, this is where they're going to be competing. It's still a work in progress, but you can see some of the slot banks behind me. This is where the second annual World Tournament Slots is going to take place. In just a few days, somebody is going to win $1 million right back here. We'll have to wait and see who it is. Poker News will be there. David, you're going to give us an explanation about how this all works. I see them, they're hitting the screen, they're spinning the button.
Yeah.
It's just amassing points, is that the goal?
It is, yeah. I mean, usually, slots is kind of a relaxing thing. You just go check out and you want to be by yourself. But when you get into a tournament situation, it's actually really exciting, as much as like a live, busy table game. Because you're playing for time, so there's time pressure. You're playing concurrently with a group of other people, so there's competitive, it heightens the experience.
Right.
And you're actually playing for scoring points. You're not playing for money in, money out. And what that lets us do is the specially designed games for tournament play, super high volatility. So they hit lots and lots of jackpots, way more than you would find on a traditional machine on the casino floor. So it's really exciting in that regard. And they're usually double tap machines. So there's the button and then there's something going on the screen that you have to activate as well. So it's a very active 3-minute session and it goes really fast for the players.
This is it. The final countdown. The winner is Hector Margarona. Hector Margarona!
So I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm so excited about the $1 million. I'm going to do so many things. Of course, I'm going to help out my family and my cousins.
How does it feel, Hector?
Amazing! I don't know exactly what I'm going to do everything. I don't know yet. But definitely, I like to make other people happy. So I'm going to use it to do that. Make my family happier.
Congratulations. You going partying tonight?
Oh, yes. All the way, all through the night, man.
All right, so there you have it. Congratulations to all the winners from the World Tournament of Slots and to Jimmy. It was a pleasure tracking your progress. And then, of course, I had a blast being in the commentary booth with Casino Kelly, and I got to meet Vanna White. Wheel of Fortune fame. I don't know if you guys saw that on social media, but that was
pretty sick.
One of those moments. Yeah, my mom would be proud. My mom is proud of that one, right?
Hell yeah.
She doesn't. Yeah, so that was cool. Another thing that has happened is our NAPT Gold Pass giveaway has a winner. We're about to reveal it here on the episode. The code phrase over the 10-week period, neither of you knew this. I kept it very close to my chest. It was Disco Chad is a better poker grinder than Mike. A lot of people guessed Holtz, but that's where I had to throw him off.
Rocky, right?
No, that was the other guess. Lesnar, because you are Brock Lesnar.
Okay. We hit him with the Mike Lesnar.
Mike Lesnar.
Whoa, okay.
I like that.
Oh, all right,
Okay.
all right. Fart directly.
We had, I think, almost 200 people did the entries, which was great. And I randomly selected a winner. His name is Thomas Pierce, out of Laramie, Wyoming, 58 years old, grandfather of 6.
Ooh.
He was a Navy veteran, has worked in the aviation field, and he actually sat down with me for a quick little interview. So here is some video of me randomly selecting him as our winner and then catching up with Thomas Pierce. Check it out. All right, I am in the Bahamas, but getting ready to leave. Going to be in Vegas soon, and I figure, you know what? Let's see who's going to join me, because I have all the entries for our NAPT $10,000 Gold Pass winner, numbers 1 through 158. Everybody who's entered is listed here. And over here, I've got my random number generator. So I'm going to put 158, and we're going to click and find our winner. Whatever number comes up that corresponds over here is going to win. So here we go. Boom, number 76. So let's scroll down. Number 76 is Thomas Pierce. Thomas Pierce. Congratulations. You just won your way to the NAPT in Las Vegas. I'll be reaching out. Hope to hear from you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am with my guest, the winner of our NAPT Gold Pass giveaway, $10,000 value, headed to Las Vegas, Thomas Pierce. Thomas, congratulations, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. I don't think it's sunk in yet, to be honest with you.
I was just finishing up a work trip in the Bahamas and had selected the winner there and messaged you and told you either email me or text me. And I got a text you basically saying, I hope this isn't a scam. Well, it's not. You're on the PokerNews podcast. So
right. I said, if this is the real Chad Holloway.
It is. It was, exciting. Obviously, these giveaways are great. We did one last year. And this one, I've gotten to know you a little bit because I sent you a questionnaire, and then before this, this interview. And as I said off the air, like, you are the sort of person that I am hoping to win these sort of giveaways. Tell us a little bit about yourself. The listeners out there who are going to want to sweat you at the NAPT. What can you tell us? Who is Thomas Pierce?
Oh, I'm just a normal guy, regular aircraft mechanic working out here in Wyoming. I spent a little bit of time in Las Vegas. Worked there for a little bit, and that's how I kind of got really into the tournament scene there.
You sent me a picture. You must have won at least one event down at the South Point, right?
Yeah, I did. So I can say I won one.
Fair, but as you told me, you haven't really played any huge buy-in stuff, right? You the $600-$400 kind of price point at the Venetian. So safe to say the NAPT is going to be the biggest event you've played.
Oh, this is way bigger than I've ever expected in my whole life. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's like I said. Like, this is the sort of player that I want to see win these sort of things. You told me you got 6 kids. 6 grandkids, 4 years in the Navy, and have made a career in the aviation industry as an aircraft mechanic, which I think is good. When, during all that, did you learn to play poker?
Well, I learned when I was a kid. My grandmother taught me how to play poker when I was very, very young. And then we just always kind of did that on Sundays. So then I really picked it up, though, when I moved out to Vegas. And I was working out there, and I had time to go hit all the casinos, and that's where it got real fun. And meeting all the people out there, and all the different kinds of people, from all different walks of life. It was cool.
I mean, you're going to meet a lot of different people at the NAPT because there's going to be other Gold Pass winners, Silver Pass winners, but it's also going to attract some of the best of the best. Are you ready to go toe to toe with whoever you might encounter?
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, I hope I get to meet a lot of new friends and people to keep in touch with.
I'm going to be out there for a little bit, and of course, Mike Holtz, my co-host, is going to be there. Kina, Ben Ludlow, Poker News. We're going to give you like a swag bag. You're our horse, so to speak. Like we all want to see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
do really well out there.
I like it.
It's gonna be fun, and like I said, like I've had people win giveaways who have never really played a tournament before. But like I said, you've been in Vegas, you've been around. Like I don't know. I got a good feeling about this for you.
Yeah, I got a good feeling too. I mean, I didn't think I'd win the contest, and that hit. So let's see if we can do a little more.
I love it. Well, I wanted to give our listeners just a little introduction to who you are. Of course, we're going to catch up with you at the NAPT. We'll get you in the live updates. Probably try to do some interviews, some catch-ups with you on the floor during the tournament. Okay. And then fingers crossed, maybe even do a winner's interview with you.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Well, let's make that our goal.
All right, a big congratulations again to Tom Pierce on that victory and all those who participated in the NAPT Gold Pass giveaway. Hopefully we'll have more to dole out in the months to come and again next year for NAPT. And guys, he wants to meet all of us. When he's in Vegas, I told him we'll come find him and meet him in person.
Big Tom, I'm going to bust you from the main event. Just kidding. No, you probably will. But congrats, man.
I'm going to give you all my chips in the main, Tom. I'm sorry.
That's chip dumping.
Well,
You heard him, Jesus. Camera.
Oh my God, Ren Holtz.
Clip it. Clip that shit. Congrats, Tommy.
Let's talk about the WPT Bay 101 Shooting Star. The final table is set. It's going to go on hiatus until December during the World Poker Tour's World Championship in Vegas, so they'll film it there. 6 players remain. There is one Shooting Star bounty left, and that's Chance Corneth. Mm-hmm. He is the biggest name at the final table, joined by chip leader Carlin Suid, Danny Wong, Matthew Witos, Daniel Maurer, and Alfie Poitra. Boys, what do you think about this Bay 101? I think there's 75 Shooting Stars that were in this tournament. $2,500 bounties. This is the first time it's been on the WPT schedule since 2017. Kind of wish I was there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were there. Shout out Matt Savage, Tyler Patterson, all those guys. Carlin Swedes, the homie. He's going to win. He deserves it. He's the guy who hangs with all of those Florida legends, the Jake Schwartz, Dylan Smith, Chad Evesludges of the world who are all crushing it. And I always thought he was just a guy who I didn't know for a while, but he's younger. I think he's still in his 20s. And he cares more about the game than anyone I know these days and is grinding. So one time for my boy Carlin, and congrats to Chance because he really needs more money.
Yeah, I got Danny M winning this one. That's my boy. He's going to come through and hit him with the steep check raises for that right sizing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Carlin's going to double check raise him and bam.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. Probably
they
not.
call me Mr. Triple Check Raise. I don't know if you looked at my Twitter recently.
I don't. I haven't gone on Twitter since NAM.
There's going to be plenty of play in this one. The short stack has 53 big blinds. So it could be anybody's game. $480,000 up top. Like I said, final 6 of a field of 672 runners. So I actually did something fun too. You can check this video. I'll link to it in the show notes. But I had a vintage pack, sealed pack of Bay 101 Shooting Star cards. So they used to do decks of cards of all of the bounties from 2006. And so I did a card break video of those. You can check that out on Poker News. It was a lot of fun. So
I bet there were like 30 people in that pack who were also Shooting Stars this year. The picture looked like it was from 2010. I was like, I know.
I would say I would say of the 52 cards that were in that deck, 40 of them were like, oh yeah, these people are still around.
Yeah.
There was probably 8 that were like, oh yeah, I remember them, but haven't really seen them. And then there was 4 like, who? Who are these people? So.
I think for Shooting Stars this year, Savage just took the 2006 list and was like, yeah, let's do all these people. And then anyone who's left over, we'll just, randomly throw them out.
Yeah.
No, we're just kidding. We're being salty because we didn't get picked. That's fine.
No, I didn't want to get picked anyway, even though I begged seven different people.
Same.
I didn't want to go to California. I don't want to travel. I want to stay home with my dogs in my bed. But if I was a shooting star, your boy would have gotten up there like a meteor.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But you actually did travel recently, Mike. You went down to Texas. So did you, Ben. You were down at Haley's wedding, a good friend of ours. But Mike, you went to play.
Oh, yeah. I went to play little cards down at the old the lodge. Yeah, it was great. I went down for the WPT event, and it was a fun time, the WPT Prime. And, had a good time. Won a satellite on an unknown site that I can't say the name of. And, we did the damn thing. It was fun. Won a little money. Yeah. Great time. Great card room.
I played. I was going to fly back on the Saturday after the wedding to play this, an event at the Wynn. Shout out the Wynn. One of my favorite place to play in town for sure.
Shout out the Wynn.
Someone was like, oh, actually, there's a 1,201 mil at TCH Dallas. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm definitely staying for that. And it was great. I think there were 12 or 1,300 people, and I got 18th or 19th and made some money, and it was great. TCH really runs great events, and hope to see more and more of them in the future. Foreshadowing.
Well, let us talk about recent tournament winners presented by PokerStars. Starting with a PokerStars event, it was the PokerStars Open main event at Live Casino and Hotel in Maryland. Is that your old stomping ground, Mike?
Semi-stomping,
Mike's from Delco, so.
Yeah. No, listen, dude, I will bury you in the desert. I'm not from Delco. Holy shit. They opened up right before I moved out to Vegas a couple years before, and I've been to Maryland Live like 20 times or so, something like that. So I guess it could be my old stomping grounds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
$1,100 buy-in, 599 runners, over almost $600,000 in the prize pool, which was double the 300K guarantee, was won by Charles Furey for $112,000. So congratulations to him. There was also the Run Good Poker Series Grand Prix Tulsa $800 main event, 469 runners, was won by Nicholas Burris for $65,000. He was, let's see what it was. He is a husband and father of three, not been active in the poker world the last couple of years because he was doing the family thing, but got back in the streets and took this down at something about a canceled trip. Like he was going to go on a trip, it got canceled, so he decided to play this event and win $65,000. So
sweet. Good. Shout out Run Good. Shout out Tulsa.
Shout out $65,000.
Yeah.
My apologies to Tana Karn at Run Good. He keeps inviting me to these stops, and I miss it. I want to get back to them. They're so much fun, but every time it's just something that conflicts. So fingers crossed, because the Run Good events are a blast. Ben, I know you know all about that.
Oh yeah, go Run Good. Go Tana.
And then there was the Poker Go Tour PLO Series 2. Chino Rheem dominated the series to win. He won the finale first off for $510,000, defeating Ike Haxton in heads-up play, and then won the overall leaderboard with 597 points, almost $800,000 in winnings, 110-point lead over Bryce Yockey, who finished in second. So Chino Rheem cleaning up on that. And then there was a bunch of other winners. So this was a 10-event series. Some of the winners, I'm just going to list them off real quick. Jesse Lanis, Alex Foxen, Eric Seidel, Ben Lamb, Sean Winter, Bryce Yockey, Vaseline Karakuchitkov, Taylor Wilson, Bryce Yockey again, and then Chino Rheem, of course. So some pretty big names taking down events there.
Yeah. I mean, great series. And I think, this is Chino's third PGT overall series win. I think he won the mixed game thing twice. I'm pretty sure he won the 25K heads up they did there too. I mean, I don't know if anyone has had the success in the studio or kind of like the consistency in the last 2-3 years as Chino. So, I mean, we knew he was one of the best card players in the world, but he's continuing to just be that.
Yeah, I mean, keeps crushing it. A lot of big name winners at that series. And then that's going to do it for recap winners this week. There were so many that between this and last show, I just had to narrow it down to some. But we're going to have a bunch more winners coming up because the NAPT is right around the corner, November 3rd through the 12th. I'm going to be flying into Vegas next week, so I'll be there for a few days. Of course, we have our Gold Pass winner that we just interviewed earlier in the episode. And then I assume both of you guys are going to be over there playing, right? I can't play it because it is a PokerStars event, but you two are able to. Are we going to see you in those NAPT streets?
For sure. Yeah. I'm going to, As long as it doesn't conflict with the Poker News podcast, I'm going to. I'll be in the streets.
As long as it's held in the ballroom upstairs, I'll be playing.
As opposed to
as opposed to the normal poker room there.
Oh yeah, it won't be there.
A lot of great events. November 3rd through the 6th is the $1,100 PokerStars Open, $500,000 guarantee on that. There'll be a $50K super high roller. The main event is $5,300 buy-in, $3 million guarantee, and then a couple ladies events, $330 buy-in, $50K women's event, and an $1,100 NAPT women's high roller. So lots on the schedule there. I'm pretty excited. We're going to do some fun stuff while I'm there in next week's episode. So we'll have to wait and see to check that out.
Friday, November 7th, there's a Run Good.
That's right.
Boston Rob, Tyson Apostle, trivia night. Come through. I'll be there for sure.
I fly out. My trip was already booked. I fly out before I can get there, and I hate it because I absolutely love Survivor, but I love Boston Rob. I love Tyson.
Yeah.
Go to that if you can. It is going to be a lot of fun.
They're good guys, and they love when you come up to them and, ask for pictures. No, they do. They're good guys.
Yeah.
Something else that is going to happen between now and next episode, in fact, tomorrow is going to be Halloween. And I'm curious, are either of you doing anything fun? Are you going to dress up?
I'm dressing up like a bad beat, and I'm showing up to all the poker players' houses to scare the shit out of them.
My mother gets to town Saturday morning, so I'm going to not dress up and... No, I don't know.
Wait, is Saturday Halloween?
No, Friday's Halloween. Friday's Halloween.
So what is that? What are you talking about?
I mean, I got to pick her up at the airport at like 8 a.m. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna just dress up as an Uber driver.
Ooh, nice.
Because that's what I am this weekend.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shout out, Mom.
So you're not doing anything for Halloween?
Probably eating candy, handing out candy, going to the club. I don't know.
I'm doing the same thing, dude. I'm pathetic.
I always like 40. Halloween.
I don't dress up.
I mean, Mike's dressed up as Jaden Daniels right now. So
I mean, he's literally exactly what
he's more mobile than Jaden Daniels right now.
I tell you, but I'm not. I'm not. My hamstring also injured.
Yeah.
I'm going to. So I like Halloween. I usually go all out. In the past, I've done some Game of Thrones characters. I was Lord Varys. I was Lady Olenna. But I'm also sometimes I get lazy with it, and then I'll do the whole Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec thing, where it's like, this is my Halloween costume,
right? And
I'll wear it multiple years. And so this year I have a trip that I got to go on. So I'm just going to take I have a Punisher from like Marvel Comics.
Okay.
I've worn it. I wore it that year. The World Series of Poker, I think it was 2021, was held in the fall. Coming back from the pandemic.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
So
I'll
wear that again.
The tag team Halloween event, which should happen every year.
Oh, that's a great idea.
No, that's what happened, right? Did you wear the Punisher for the tag team event? Yeah.
Sick.
That's sick. That's sick.
All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for episode number 923 of the Poker News Podcast. As I said, I will be in Las Vegas next week for the NAPT. I confirmed with both of you. You'll also be there, so we'll all have some fun in studio. We're going to have a little adventure as well out in the desert of Las Vegas, if all goes according to plan. I'm Chad Holloway, Mike Holtz, Ben Ludlow. Until next week, we'll keep a seat open for you.
Fire Zach Taylor.